So you've gotten through the listing of the home, you've gotten through the home inspection, you've gotten through the post-inspection process. Hallelujah. Now what's next? It is time for the appraisal. So this is the thing that most often is out of everybody's control. Everybody in the process, the seller, the buyer, the buyer's agent, the seller's agent, nobody has any real control over how this appraisal is going to go. We don't know how it's going to go. We know how we want it to go. And everybody in the deal certainly wants to come back to say everything is good, the value is there, move forward in the process. But those appraisers are generated typically from a round robin situation. They don't even know who's coming out for that appraisal from the lender side. Lender gets to put in the request for an appraisal, system goes through, next appraiser in the line gets picked up, and they get the order. And that's how it mostly works now since what happened in 2008, which we don't even want to go there. So the appraiser gets the notification, and they are going to reach out to the listing agent to make that request for the showing. Again, this is a process that typically the seller is not going to be at home during, unless there is some medical restriction or reason why. That is something that the appraiser wants to be able to come in, do a fair assessment, unbiased, and determine what is the current condition of the home in respects to value. So they're not coming through and doing any type of inspections. They're not looking at those things that you had already looked at or had looked at through the inspection itself. But they are generally coming through to say, hey, this looks like it's been updated, or this looks like it's never been updated, or this is brand new, and so everything is good. It just really is a matter of their getting the details and the information that compile that report for what is this true market value of the home. We like to think that that is the process and that everybody has a set order of how they do this. So unfortunately, sometimes we know we can't control who gets that appraisal, and we can't control how they come about with their findings, because sometimes we're scratching our heads. And I'll be honest with you, it is one of those things that I, as the listing agent, am going to do my due diligence and make sure I've gone through and determined what are our comps in the area, what should we be listed at. Here's a nice range of where we feel comfortable that we're still in the buyer's market value point of what we're offering, what's there, and what we're asking for the property. And sometimes you just don't get the appraised value that you want. When that happens, if that happens, hopefully not to you, but if it happens, it is again one of those points where there is a negotiation. You know, that communication throughout this whole process is so critically important, not only between clients to their realtors, buyers to their buyer's agent, sellers to their the selling agent, the listing agent, but it is also between the buyer's agent and the selling agent, seller's agent, because that communication really keeps the process going. We're all trying to work towards the same common goal, which is to get the house sold, closed, new buyers moving in, sellers moving out, and everybody's happy. That's when it's the best, is when everybody walks away feeling good about the process. But that silly little appraisal can surely come in there and cause a problem if it's short. And if it's short by a little bit, you can probably work it out. It's when it's short by more than what you want that it just really does become problematic, you know, and we haven't seen that in a while, but our prices are starting to escalate in the area. And so it does start giving us a little bit of concern when there's multiple offers coming in and people are bidding up the price. We don't know that the value is going to be supported when that appraiser comes through. We knew what we listed it at, but now we've got a little bit of that frenzy going on, and I'm going to tell you, it's just going to be one of those things. We have to see how the appraisal comes back. The other part of that is that the appraisers are pretty much, their word is their word. You're not going to change their mind. Sometimes we see that we can provide them with additional information. Maybe there's some specifics that they weren't aware of. Sometimes we get an appraiser from out of the area, and that may cause some issues with the value. As the listing agent, we're going to try to do everything we can. As the buyer's agent, you're going to try to keep the deal together if that's still possible. And truly what should ring true is that you had a valid sale, seller who wants to sell at a price, and the buyer who comes in and makes the offer at a price. And those two came to the meeting of the minds. So here we are, we should be good. It's when there's financing involved and that third party needs to also confirm value that the criteria might change, and that becomes an issue. So hopefully it all works out. We make it work to the end, and through the appraisal process, once that's all clear to go on the loan, we're just set. Next thing is going to be the closing. And that's the happy day where sellers get to come to the table and they're paid for what they have sold. And for the buyers who are getting the benefit of getting keys and occupancy then or at a designated time as agreed to in the contract. And so this is just a quick rundown of what's next. And hopefully it goes very quickly. To me, those mile markers are: you go on the market, you get the showings, you get the contract, you get an exception of the contract, and then you get to inspections, and then you get to the appraisal. Then you should be good to go to the closing table itself. And if you have any specific questions or any information that you would like added, please feel free to reach out. Again, this is generic information. It is information that is designed to give you a guide, hopefully give you some questions or answers, and certainly please be sure that you are talking with your realtor as to the specifics or the deal that you may be looking at doing. And we hope to see you around. We thank you so much for stopping by, viewing this video in our series, and we hope to bring you more from another perspective or to answer other questions and just keep it informative for you. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye-bye.